Hey, Sarah. Yeah, I've decided to kind of swap a little bit and do some streaming on YouTube because I've been doing a lot of these 3D models these days, getting myself reacquainted with the ZBrush program. Been a while since I've actually done anything in it, so I've decided I'm gonna just leave some of these streams online because I had people ask me, and I don't really back up anything on Twitch, so plus a few days ago I learned about this Dynamesh feature, and I haven't really had the chance to properly explore it. So, uh, making the villain from my new mecha comic might actually be a decent way to give it a try. Also known as, oh hey, Stepan is making another villain without a nose. How original. Yes, people, this pony only has one trick. What's the plan for today? Well, today, like I said, I'm gonna be screwing around with this, probably jumping between a few models, because I've realized that these 3D things make for a great warm-up to start the day, because I'm massively just a hobbyist at this. Alright, I need a stroke lazy mouse off. I'm a massive hobbyist at this, so right now it's just something I do for fun. But you learn a lot by doing these things. One of the things that 3D has helped me with a lot during my career was, uh, you know, just getting a better grasp of forms, of volumes. Uh, really, literally hard carried my learning of materials and the way light behaves, because you kind of have to do it in 3D because if you're dealing with 3D, like understanding materials, understanding light, understanding shadows, all of those things, like it's just such a must that it's not even funny. So right now I'm dealing with this uh, new. I don't really even know how new this technology is in ZBrush, where you like it's very intuitive. It's very turns everything into digital clay and just have fun until you're ready to move it forward. Oh, hi, Fuad. So it's a whole lot of pushing and pulling and just enjoying yourself. It's going great. These days, like I'm having so much fun. Like I'm actually kind of over-inspired between my comics and between just this absolute rush that is relearning 3D and just getting like because I'm doing some like video game side stuff for a friend, and it's just like getting back into this. Like it's been so long. I used to do a bunch of 3D for Ravine when I was making that comic, and you know, I also did a lot of work for the video games that I used to work on. So it's kind of like you know, getting back into this whole thing is it's fun. It's frustrating at times because ZBrush is a finicky piece of awesome. See, I want to say a piece of shit, but it's really not. Hey, just got. Oh, this program actually like you don't really start with everything. In fact, about 90% of stuff in this program you just kind of don't ever engage with, because it's like they have a lot of stuff that they make, but it's kind of like you have your main stuff that's just always in use, and everything else tends to be um, just kind of obsolete. I can tell you that I was pretty much in this program. I was self-taught plus tutorials. So what that means is like I didn't have any formal training. You just kind of like it's very it's not hard to pick up and start working in it. Like uh, one of my usual advice is like when it comes to ZBrush, pick it up and just start making a thing that you like. You know what I mean? Sorry about my Tourette's. It's been acting up a little bit, but yeah. So basically, my theory comes down to this: like, if you're trying to make something you like, it's going to motivate you to keep trying and struggle busting and going one tutorial at a time, trying to figure out how to do one thing or another thing. Because these days, like that's been my life, testing out my old memories with like new technologies and tutorials and stuff, and it's been a blast. I've been crafting 3D stuff like a lunatic. Yeah, exactly that. It's like Photoshop with just massive amount of filler. Can ZBrush models be translated into 3D prints? Oh, definitely. Like that's where you kind of make them. uh, like you can make a lot of fucking crazy stuff. Right now, I am working on several models of my characters from like Sunstone, Death Vigil, Fine Print. So this is currently this one is the posing is still just very just blunt force trauma applied. Now I need to get into sculpting. But yeah, basically she is going to be standing on his shoulder. So she basically comes up to this size here. But yeah, like you can really craft pretty much anything you want in ZBrush. Like it's really like once you get into it, like just sky's the limit, literally, and then you break the sky and then you keep going. Wait, this is not the posed one. Where's the? Ah, there it is. So yeah, you generally start with like making a basic model, and then you can pose it, you can detail it, you can. This one's still not done as well. I am just scatterbrainedly going from one model to another, learning one thing at a time. And this one literally was me going like, "Hey, I want to learn how to extract like sub models for like armors and stuff, and how to do like really long hair." So it's literally like it's honestly it's very addictive. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I ended up finishing that one as an illustration, and then recently, when I got into this, I'm like, man, like one of my big dreams is like, like you gotta understand for us comic creators, like there is no guaranteed success. Like any fucking book we make, is like pretty much the first book we made. As in, it doesn't matter how big you are or how small, how much of a range you have. You're always just kind of basically chasing an audience that may or may not be there. And currently, I'm working on a mecha comic. Well, I'm working on 5 different series, but one of them is a mecha themed comic because I love mecha stuff, you know. So it's kind of like high drama, high spectacle, high everything, you know. It's nuts. And the thing is, like, I love that stuff, and I know there's people who love that stuff. But that's not saying that those people are gonna come and read my stuff. So it's kind of one of those you always kind of are just hopeful that the comic finds its audience. But I have 2 stages of existing. One, I hope this thing at least has enough audience to succeed, and 2, I hope this thing is a success enough so that I can justify making like high quality fucking collectible statues and shit because I love that stuff. Listen, Sarah, this is how I exist, okay? Hmm. 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 Oh, and of course the novel, yes, because you know, there is just no sanity left in me. I'm just like, listen, I'm well aware that one day I'm going to die doing all this stuff. So if I'm gonna go away, I'm gonna go away big, you know. It's just gonna be like, it's like hopefully with like at least 4 finished projects and that one last one that's gonna be left unfinished and keep me haunting this earthly plane, you know, forever. This is gonna be until I find a way to possess a computer and finish that as well. Then my work on this world is done. Hey, Chico. Yeah, exactly. I mean, listen, at some point you gotta realize that's, you know, that's your life, you know. It's not, like I said, what I do, not the healthiest approaches. But I'm also well aware that I'm not gonna change. Yep. And he doesn't even need the glasses for it. Please. He's got 40/40 vision. None of us can match that. Just is like, we lose by default. We are inferior. He may or may not say that often, you know. Yep, that's me as well. It was so funny. For so long, I'm like, I don't need glasses. What do you mean? The world's supposed to look fuzzy around the edges. Puts on glasses. Oh, so that's what they mean by HD. I see. Because for the longest time, also when I was watching movies in HD, I'm like, I don't see the hype. Because I physically couldn't see the hype. The glasses squad in the chat. Hey, Shintori. Okay, so let's gotta carve this here. Okay, now. This is like one of the this is the first arc of Achilles Shield Maiden's main villain, like the one that they engage with the most. It's not the main villain of the story, but he is sort of a Vader-like presence in the story. I wonder what my ZRemesher mesh is gonna look like once this is done. Because my problem is I am a dabbler in 3D. Like I'm just a massive hobbyist and nothing more. So I don't really know any other programs anymore except for ZBrush. Like I used to do 3D Studio Max, but that was so long ago that I've forgotten literally everything. The problem is, like, let's say you want to do anything interesting with this model, you know, you want to do a proper render, you want to do animation, you want to do whatever. You kind of need an external program for that because ZBrush is your, you know, sculptor jockey's toolbox, you know. So it's kind of like what you would usually do is you would take this model, you would decimate it, you would put it into another program, and then you would build it, you know, proper topology and everything. But that requires knowing other programs, and that's not how I roll. I'm not what you would call a learning man. I'm more, you know, just mess with it until things happen. Sometimes things are good. And I can't blame that method of work because it made me develop some weird methods, you know, some weird techniques that just work for some reason. So, you know, it has served me well to some extent. Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. Subtool. Where is it? Where's those teeth? I'm gonna take human teeth, I'm gonna append them, and then I'm gonna just mess with them. So I'm gonna append teeth. Zoom. So now draw scale. Okay. Come on, old man, put in your dentures. Ah, I remember the old wall. I don't know why. Whenever I fucking make 3D stuff like this, I get extra stupid. Wait, what am I doing? Idiot. Okay, Space Boomer. Alright, where's the other jaw? There it is. Append. Scale, scale. I have lost my dentures. Frame. Yeah, whenever you put eyes and teeth into something, just immediately, just awesomeness expands. Alright, save as. General, and I'm gonna remember his name later because I keep forgetting. I have too many of my own fucking characters at this point. Hey, Fireflies. Alright, let me just and I'm gonna put plastic color fill object. Okay, now for this one I'm gonna go with fill object. This is what I love about ZBrush. It's like once you kind of learn 4 or 5 things in it, like it's already mega intuitive. After that, you're capable of navigating the space and making some basic stuff. And by basic, I mean like pretty fucking cool stuff. And it's actually that drives you forward, wanting to learn more. Alright, now I gotta do his helmet thing. Append. Transform. Activate symmetry. No worries. Alright, so it goes like this. And then, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna need to add it, the sort of a halo thing. Dynamesh that shit. He has hamster cheeks, yes. All of the nuts. All of the nuts are belong to him. This is why he invaded. He's like, Earth has nuts? Prepare the armada. But yeah, this is him, like, uh, this is how it looks like. He also has just the fanciest fucking disco hair. Like, just that shit glows everywhere. When he walks around, when he walks into the room, like you can hear the techno beat just popping off. So here's the thing. This is the problem with me. I really can't teach anybody what my process is when I don't have one. See, I've spent a lot of years kind of removing the brain out of my process. I just kind of do things, but that's kind of like I used to have a massive problem of overthinking everything, right? Which is why you often see me these days, like when I'm starting something, there is no sketch, there is nothing. I just kind of attack the canvas and see what happens. Because I've noticed that generally I know what needs to be done, but I know it like instinctively on that level. But it's like whenever I try to put it on the canvas or on a model, I tend to start overthinking. So my process basically comes down to is like when I'm designing a scene, I'm just like, it's like, oh, I literally, like, it sounds so stupid, but I go by the mood, the swing of the leaves in the tree, on like the forest floor. It's like that. There's that fraction of a feeling that you get, and that shit. That's when I'm like, okay, I need to capture that feeling. So I just let go of everything else and I just kind of start going for the feeling, and everything else kind of I fiddle with it until it fits. And it's like it's so stupid. It's such a bad method. It works by sheer stubbornness of me. That's the problem. Like, this is why I always tell people, like, listen, I can't teach you shit because I don't know what I'm doing. Like, how do I teach people? It's like, what's your method of doing this? Well, first things first, you need to stir the midichlorians in your blood, and then you gotta use the force, because that's effectively my explanation for shit. That's the problem. This is why you don't see me fucking starting up a teaching channel on YouTube, because I'm like, listen, I would just fucking ruin you. I just like, dude, it's like, sir, your work is you're my role model. Me, please reconsider, because I think a lot of it comes from the fact that I am self-taught. Like, so I didn't really have a method of doing things. I just had a method of fucking around until I figured it out. And the problem with fucking around until you figure it out thing is, like, you can tell somebody what your end method is. In fact, I've done so repeatedly over and over and over again. But it doesn't really do shit, because there's a process of learning a different kind of a skill set in that method from usual. Like, most artists are gonna be, it's like, oh, well, you get the references, you do this. I unfortunately I got my starts in a very toxic time for artists. What I mean by that is, uh, I kind of started taking this stuff seriously when, like, in the early days of CG work, everybody was mega snobbish about using references. Like, Jesus Christ, the actual mood was just of sheer stupidity, of people going like, well, references are cheating, you know. And that kind of stuck with me back then. Like, it ruined my progress for so many years, because I'm like, I gotta do everything not to actively use references. So I actually went and developed a method of practice where I would look at a reference for like half an hour or 20 minutes and just kind of toss it aside and try to recreate what I saw. Now, there is an upside to that method, right? You're actively trying to memorize things, you're trying to figure out things, you're measuring things, you are focusing on that references, you are adding stuff to your visual library. It's not an entirely terrible approach, but you know what's a better approach? You have that reference in front of you and a bunch of others, and then you work from that, and then you figure it out as you go, and you don't goddamn lose your sanity while doing it. Because yeah, I wish back then our artists were as honest as they are nowadays. Because back then everybody was like, hey, behold my thing. I made this thing that's just amazing. What reference? You know? So you kind of get this expectation of yourself. It's like, shit, these people are gods. I have to be able to produce stuff like that without reference in order to be competitive. And don't get me wrong, I've gotten to a certain level of competence, but that's not the way to go about it. Like, what's my advice to young artists? Don't do what I did. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, you know. And then this is why nowadays I'm like, I don't really use reference often. Like I generally use it for stuff that I just can't pull out of my ass. But that's because I have been fucking staring at them for so long and just goddamn memorizing everything. And it's like, I always tell people, it's like, Jesus Christ, use reference. Like, you can't even understand how important this is. Like, oh my God. Sorry, I get my NAM flashbacks from just those discussions back in the early days of CG talk, and it's just like, oh, man, we had some weird ideas about things. Another pet peeve of mine was back then, but this is the one that I actively oppose from day one. Well, you're not supposed to use this tool in Photoshop or that tool in Photoshop. This tool is not okay. You can't use this filter. Like, fuck you, it's a toolbox. And you know what? That was the best decision I've ever made, to tell them to go fuck themselves on that one, because about 20 plus years ago now, that's how I made the first blending brush for Photoshop. By fucking around with tools that people are like, oh, you shouldn't use that one. So you know what? Sometimes, yeah, well, most of the times it's okay to think for yourself. Yeah, exactly that. It's just, yeah, there are still people who are still fucking being idiots about references. They're like, oh my God, no, that's just from a reference. It's like, yes, it is. That's why it looks good. That, like, do you think this person hasn't learned from that? Oh fuck yes, they learned from that. In fact, they learned from that way more than you did from making 20,000 anatomical mistakes making something without a reference. Trust me. Ah man. Now here's the thing. Becoming an artist, amazing. Like, no joke. Like, you actually, if you commit yourself to that, it is financially rewarding. It is emotionally rewarding. You will be able to pay your bills. You'll be able to make. You will gain godlike powers of being able to make whatever the fuck you want. All right. But you gotta temper your mindset in it. You know. You can't let yourself be. You know. Chased away by stupid preconceived notions of what it's supposed to be like instead of what it really is. Yeah, there are people who will reference another artist and their pose. While it's a form of practice, it's been done since fucking the dawn of art. That's called studies. Uh, there is a danger to that. The danger that's really obvious, and that's the fact that you are learning from somebody's artistic handwriting. This is what a style is, right? Style is artistic handwriting. It is mistakes that look good. And working from another person's style means you start internalizing those mistakes without perhaps having the best foundation of your own. And then you're just like, you're already making your own mistakes, then you're adding somebody else's mistakes. Your copied style will never look as good. Trust me, speaking from a lot of experience, my entire fucking first 10 years of my career was me trying to be other artists. Didn't work. It was the moment I started being honest to my own work that I had a massive turnaround. So, it's a good thing to kind of walk in another person's shoes, artistically speaking, for a bit, just to kind of get a feeling for it, right? But don't let it devour you. Don't let it eat your soul out of your own work, because after a while you're gonna realize that really it feels like trying to write with another person's handwriting. Speaking as somebody who's done it for about 10 plus years, it only leads to burnout, which coincidentally then led to me making Sunstone. Never fucking mind, just do yeah, that other thing was just basically life being unpredictable. Yeah, that's the joke. It's like it's like I'm here telling you not to do it, but because of that is why my burnout happened, and then out of sheer just absolute loss of direction, I'm like, I'm just gonna draw some fetishy joke pictures, and then it's like, and then they started speaking, and then I'm a fucking worldwide bestseller. Holy, hold up, what? Like that's the trajectory of my life that I would have never foreseen. But I honestly, artistically speaking, I've never been happier. Now everything I do is, my own style. It's hell, everything I do is my own thing. Nowadays, I'm just doing creator-owned works. Oh, with a few caveats of here and there doing some short stuff. Yeah, Witchblade and Angelus was me trying to. I was trying to be so many artists at the same time. The only artist I wasn't trying to be was me, you know, and that's why it made me crash and burn so hard in the end. Because at the end of the day, you can only pretend to be somebody you're not for so long before you kind of crack. Like, no joke. Like, I was here drawing like first doodles of Sunstone characters as I was genuinely talking to Linda about swapping to video games. I'm just gonna go and be a concept artist and the modeler for video games. I had my foot in the door already. Like, I did a lot of work for Serious Sam, and I'm like, you know what? They pay well for. So it's like I could do that. I could just do that. Just remove the stress out of my life, because to me, video game design is much easier in a way where it's like I don't have to worry about I don't have to worry about storytelling. I don't have. It's just like, hey, here's just keep drawing random shit. It's fine. You'll stumble on the one they choose to use. Do I have any more DC Black Label projects? Nah, I I love working for DC. I love working with DC, but I love my own stuff more. Right? It's as simple as that. My own stuff is way more entertaining to me. I have way more artistic freedom. Not that DC ever limited me. I had no problems with them. But literally, I can do whatever the fuck I want with my own stuff. I am my own boss. And then there's the fact that I kind of earn triple with my own stuff than I do when I work with any work for hire company. So it's just not easy to justify it. Hey, Jonathan. Oh, wait, I have one on Aphelion, so I can just use his halo. All right. Subtool, nope, for this one, yeah. Okay, so append. This is another great thing about working in 3D. It's like just the simple ease of reusing things is. Deformation, inflate, but reverse. Yeah, I'm just gonna blunt force it. Do I have hiccups? No, I have Tourette syndrome. And unfortunately, it's slightly extra annoying when I'm inspired. And these days, I'm, I'm inspired a lot. Oh yeah, it's like at this point, like the skill set is transferable very much. So it's like very, like I don't like I could pretty much work in any kind of industry where it's that's kind of like creative stuff, So it's like, but I don't wanna. It's comics are everything to me. Like I am absolutely addicted to storytelling. That's the problem. Like this is why, like I do stuff in video games like every now and then when I feel like it just, and it's mostly for me for fun, just kind of as a palate cleanser. Like right now, I'm working on some stuff for a video game. Like this concept that may or may not happen, right? But it's fun. Like it's fun to just kind of fuck around with your friends and just kind of brainstorm designs and stuff and just just enjoy it. What the fuck? Is it like asymmetrical? What the damn hell? my God, what the fuck? You know what? I think I'm just gonna, I'm gonna leave it now for a placeholder, but later I'm gonna make a new thing, because turns out this one's a little wonkadelic. Don't worry about it, Jonathan. It's listen, it's kind of hard to ignore it when it kicks in. So trust me, I'm used to it. It's soon enough, so will you be. All right, so subtool. Back to this. Let's give it some basic placeholder color. And I'm gonna use, let's use this one. Color fill object. Why did I not? No, not type plastics. Here, yeah, I'm gonna be doing that one a bit later. That one's because these aren't for animation like this, so I can just use something like a curve brush or an alpha curve brush and just pull as many of them as I want and just make it look nice. Scale. The vertices are repelling. We will remesh them. We will remesh all of them. Sir, the mesh integrity, it can't hold. Apply subdivision. Deploy Dynamesh. Okay, so I think so. This part is gonna have like a passageway for all them wavy locks, and then I'm gonna pull these ones up here. There we go, something like that. That's kind of the shape I'm gonna go with. Then I'm gonna do this. Okay, now trim dynamic. Listen, really the point of it is that he can cry much harder. Yeah, I honestly, I have no fucking idea what's the physical benefit of having four eyes, but you know, hear me out. It looks cool. That's that's rough, you know. Unfortunately, he doesn't have eyebrows, which is why he's so pissed and taking over the world, you know. He sees humans with our eyebrow wiggle actions, just like this whole thing. This has to stop right now. Imagine him getting an eye twitch and it's just like randomized every time. Okay, now I think I have enough to work with on him so that I can actually make the ZRemesher Actually, let me just define some of his neck here. Then I'm gonna ZRemesh him, and then we can actually start making details. All right. First things first, save as, just in case, because ZBrush is notoriously finicky. 90% of the time it's like everything I do is powerful and it's here at your command. And then there's that 10% of you looked at the wrong button. I'm gonna crash now. But I didn't squeeze it. That is enough. Dynamic. I have disabled autosave because of what happened to me today. So today I'm sitting and working, right? And I'm trying to open a JPEG file of my character in the comic just so that I can check up on the reference. And my computer's like, you don't have enough memory room for that. I'm like, sorry, what? Checks disk. I had like fucking 600 megabytes left on my hard disk. I'm like, what in the ever loving fuck? I go and check the like volume of just file sizes and shit. ZBrush's autosaves have just completely cluttered my entire goddamn hard disk. Like my fucking my Windows drive. And I'm just like, it's just first things first, delete all of these autosaves. Second things second, remove the ability of autosaving, you motherfucker. So yeah, that was my day today. I'm just like, what is happening? And I'm like, oh, so that explains why ZBrush kept crashing while trying to autosave as well. It literally had no room to autosave anymore. This is the fucking resource hog. Like, you can actually limit its amount of autosaves and everything, but it's just like, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know how fucking massive these autosaves were. So I learned. ZBrush was like, you're gonna learn today. Oh yeah, you can. ZBrush is also an incredible texturing tool altogether. All right, let me first subtool. Okay, now let us. Okay. Save first, and then I'm gonna try and remesh it. General save. Yes. All right, now ZRemesher. Let's give it some fuel. Yep. Okay. Let's see what do we have. Skin shade, zoom 3D. All right, it saved all of the nice stuff with the eyes. I'm gonna give it a little bit more. Color, fill object. Okay. So, this looks pretty decent. Now, let's see how many polys do we have on it. This is 38,000 polygons. Maybe a little. Let's. Okay, I want to see. Okay, they did a nice job with the eye stuff, but let's just give it one more try. Geometry, ZRemesher. Let's. Polyframe. Yeah, that's pretty decent. All right, that'll do. Now, subtool. How much does this have? 28,000 total polys. Okay, geometry. Divide. Okay. And now, so this is a dumb question, but what is this step? What is it for? So, here's in short. Edit, undo. So, this part of sculpting has been done on Dynamesh. Dynamesh is just gonna make you a fuck ton of weird ass triangles and shit, and so that you can. It's just gonna simulate like a feeling of clay, so that you can make your base idea of a model. But Dynamesh kind of doesn't distinguish anything important. It doesn't follow the lines. This is why you get such things as like you see how weird the edges around the eyes are. Like all these polygons are just kind of like brutally just stretched and pulled and everything. So when you apply that ZRemesher, ZRemesher is going to reduce the number of polygons while putting them in order. So what it does is, so you see how just absolute shit show everything is right now. So I do this, and see how they're nicely now following everything. Now there's a lot less of them, but that's easily fixed by just doing the subdivisions. geometry, see, divide. So every time I divide now, I get more and more polygons that are they're following the shape, which means they're much better for what's it called for modeling, really. So polyframe. So now, with that applied, I can now do the proper modeling. Yeah, it's a very good piece of technology that they added into the program because it allows you to achieve a lot of stuff on the sculpt, a lot more than you were able to do, without an orderly mesh. All right. This is a face cam, the only face that matters. Yeah, literally that's just constant frowning. Oh, except sometimes stupid expressions as I'm drawing stupid expressions. Those are also a thing. Yeah, this like these ZRemesher isn't really meant for like the end product remeshing, but it helps immensely with the actual production of the model. When you're actually doing the modeling, it does wonders for that. I can't deal with Elden Ring or any of the Souls-like games. I don't need that kind of stress in my life. Yeah, yeah. Face cam would be me teasing. It's like, and here's my eyebrow. You're gonna have to pay more for the rest. Oh god, it's adorable that you assume that I have a camera. That's the most fun part of it all. Every stream ever, every fucking interview ever. It's like everybody's on camera. I'm just the idiot with the avatar. Although once next year when I move into my new place and I actually have a studio space, I might actually set up something so that people can see the face of a creator while drawing comics. That's just my God. You're gonna be worried that I'm it's like, oh my God, is he stroking out? I'm just like, no, I'm just drawing really stupid expressions, as you can see, and monkey see, monkey do, you know? Just gonna real quick apply some color onto it, just standard. Listen, I don't show this wonderful face of mine for such petty cash, please. RGB. First things first, let me. I'm fucking telling you, my OnlyFans would be amazing. Just no, seriously, there was a time when it like seemed like that maybe Patreon was gonna be like toning down on permissiveness about not safe for work stuff, mature content, and I was literally like, I'm like, OnlyFans you can also post art, so technically. All right, let me just there we go. Yeah. And there we go. There's a point past which is no longer interesting or funny. It's just kind of boring. It's just I don't mind the jokes, but come on, you gotta bring something to the table. Sounds totally fast. Yeah, that's literally the only reason. Listen, why do you think they became villains? You get enough free time, and just you start thinking maybe I could just just a little bit, just take over the world. So there I was, laying awake for the 12th night in a row, when it just hit me. Alright, these lips are a little bit too dark. This is approaching Bernie shade. Seriously though, one of these days I'm gonna make a main villain who has a nose, but this is not that day. This one is from my mecha comic, Killer Shield Maidens. It's a new thing that I'm making. General save. The Dark Dimension Pinocchio, yes. He only speaks the truth. The nose is gone. The teeth are gonna be changed a little bit because he does have a bit of a more fanged look to him, but like their proportions are gonna be remains fairly similar. He's like, I come here bringing uncomfortable truths. Fuck, there goes the nose. Alright, let's go to the most fun part in ZBrush. Fiddling around with wrinkles and pores. Give him a horror letter in his forehead. Actually, I think in the early versions of him, like I had like him have like just some writing on his forehead as well, like or just like some fanaticism thing, you know. But then I remembered I have to draw him in the comic over and over again, and I would so fucking forget to put that on. It's not even funny. Every goddamn time. That's me every time. It's like, oh hey, I'm gonna have this character have 3 earrings on their left ear and a nose piercing on his left nostril. So, anyways, 5 panels later, and all of that shit is gone. Just it's just like and then now it's a generic character. Fuck it. Yeah, tattoos. Tattoo. Okay, I figured out the trick for tattoos. I just literally make them as their own file and then apply them as fucking wallpapers on every character that I'm drawing. However, even that I forget. So, listen. I am but a flawed artist. Translation: a fuck up. Hey, honey. Yeah, it's been a while. I've been predominantly streaming on Twitch. Listen, if I put the eyes red, it's just gonna look like even more generic as a villain. Like, come on, he's gotta have some ambiguity there. It's like, hey, he looks very evil and he's destroying the world, but his eyes are just very calming blue. I think he can be redeemed. It's like he just murdered all of your friends, but the eyes though. Can I show the full head? Indeed, they can. Now back into the fray with the details. First part is at some point I'm gonna have to unclick symmetry and actually work on fucking up the face. How many polygons does he have? 1.7 million, right? Or is it 17 million? No, 1.7 million. Alright. That's enough for all the details. I could subdivide him once more and just model every pore, but this isn't a movie character. This isn't a video game character. So I could just keep my sanity. Give him the vampire taste. Yeah, he gets those a bit later. I just haven't gotten around to doing doing the teeth. But yeah, he is a bit of a he's a fangy boy. Like this is one of the earlier doodles, and yeah, he's got like fangs and shit. So I gotta do those a bit later. Yeah, Morbius. And the role of General whatever the fuck I gave him the name is now played by Jared Leto. He prepared for the role by conquering 6 worlds because he's a method actor. After filming the movie, the actor was captured for the intergalactic court for his intergalactic war crimes. He defends himself by saying it was all for the movie. That looks like old bath with wrinkles. Kinda, yeah. Yeah, I literally sculpt the same way I paint. This is why I keep telling people like the problem with my painting methods is that I have been inherently a sculptor ever since like I was in high school, really. I preferred sculpting, but kind of learned the other stuff along the way. But now my whole thing is basically, my entire artistic method is derived from my sculpting methods. Pisho, what nose? where where am I gonna put that earring, huh? Here, let me just put one right here. I'm gonna put it in. I'm gonna slot it in like a goddamn coin into a jukebox. Just like clink. No, I actually get what you mean. It's just the very idea of him not having a nose. Put an earring in his nose. Where? there's another reason why I can't put an earring in his nose, because I still have to actually draw this character in a comic over and over again, and I am going to forget that earring every time. Every time. Like this just every goddamn time when I'm like, you know what? Maybe this time I'm gonna design a character that has this accessory. I'm gonna put an effort. I'm gonna remember now. I never remember. And the problem is I'm only getting older, so that whole memory thing, it ain't getting better. Yes. So that's also going to be the twist ending at the end of it all. Like just as he's about to fight the heroes, a portal opens and Sonic just rushes in and just takes off his head. Just like, yeah. Also known as, I gotta go and see the new Sonic movie. Uh, Editors help check art continuity, but they're still just human. You know, it's like we like there are times when we will all like just during every stage of the production just completely miss a thing, and it's just like somebody in the comments is like, you know, you fucked this up. I'm like, well, I know now. Why does my monster have no hole in the nose? Because it's a big old fucking phony. He's not even breathing. It's all a conspiracy, I'm telling you. He's just ahead. But that's enough to get you ahead in life. That's what you get on every one of my streams. Fucking dad humor and just nonsense. Oh, I think my time is up. I'm gonna have to now switch to making actual comics. Enough fun time, Stepan. Enough fun time. Okay, just a little bit more fun time. Just. I can't leave these areas undefined like that. Yeah, just. Exactly. That's exactly it. He's got a porous nose hole. That's not. It's not at all because I was too lazy to sculpt a proper nose hole. No, this looks like Steppenwolf from Justice League. Add a whole lot of Witchblade on it, and yeah. Actually, I rewatched that movie, I think 3 days ago. The the extended cut. First time I watched it, I don't know, it didn't sit well with me. It just felt self-indulgent and long. But it has to also do with me being in a bad mood when I was watching it back then. And I rewatched it now, and a few things that just feel pointlessly stretched out aside, I actually enjoyed it. Like that. There's no reason why that Aquaman singing scene had to be that long. It's just, I'm sorry. It's just like I'm staring there, like, no, seriously, it can't be as long as I remember it. It's just like, yeah, no, it's just going. We have an ode to Aquaman. Just don't worry about it. It's this is happening. When needs to conquer a moisturizer planet. Yep. This is why he came to Earth. He knows of the advancements we made in such fields. What is this aloe vera and how can I get more of it? Oh, just conquer? Conquer them. Funniest thing is, recently I've been watching a bunch of tutorials and just videos from this channel called Flip Normals. They basically specialize in like 3D programs and ZBrush and stuff like that. And like every single model they make is like, it's like, and then we add a scar, and I'm just like, this is such peak 3D artist behavior. Just like I gotta add an asymmetrical scar because I didn't really make a truly asymmetrical face. So I'm just gonna have him add a scar. There are only two acceptable locations of a scar. It's over the eye or on the lip. That's where it has to go. Alright, that's gonna be that for today. I'm gonna be off now. Gotta get my breakfast and then I gotta get my comic pages done. So, thank you all for being here, and I'll see you when I see you.